With prepping, one is none and two is one. Well, this off-grid homesteading family has 5 forms of power. This is one of their solar panel systems here. And this particular panel system, this entire solar system with the panels and the sun tracking, the battery bank, charges and everything, was $70,000. Of course, you get a 30% tax break on that, or rebate. And this completely tilts and swivels, tracks the sun from sunrise to sunset. When I got here in the morning, this was completely turned the other direction. And it's late afternoon right now, and it's tracked the sun where it is. This one panel system here powers over 10,000 square foot home and outbuildings, and provides a total electric home with power 24/7. We'll show you the batteries here in a minute, but these panels put out 90 amps, and so he's putting out 6,000 watts an hour and storing this in a large battery bank. Let's take a look at the back of this system here. The key to this panel working is all the gearing and the structure here that will support this panel up to 70-mile-an-hour winds. And you can see all the big gears and motors here to keep this thing on track to the sun. They get maximum power from the solar panels because it is tracking. So if you have the option of being able to track the sun, you will get about a 20% or more power gain from doing so. Here we are at the heart of the solar panel system, and that is the inverters and controllers here. You can see he's got the Outback controllers, and he's actually split the system between 2 different controllers, and so if half the panels go out, he still has power going to his home. Then here we have the controllers here, and before we were looking at the inverters. Attached to the panel system are 24 500-pound batteries. These are Exide gel-filled batteries, and these are 25-year batteries. This battery bank allows him to store enough power to run his entire house without any solar power for 3 full days. In addition to the solar electrical system they have, here they have a solar water heating system. This heats 180 gallons of water. Cost approximately $12,000 to install, but they have non-stop running water day and night. Here we have the solar water tank, and actually right next to it, in redundant backup, we have the propane water heater over here. If there's long periods of time with insufficient sun to heat the water, they can fire up the propane water heater here and still have hot water for the house and be off-grid. Here, associated with their propane storage, they have an outdoor propane fire pit. And as you can see, they have it well designed so they can easily move the food on and off the fire, and makes it very enjoyable to bring chairs around and enjoy. Even in a crisis, you could be outside and enjoying a nice fire and light together. Here we are looking at several cords of wood, but they have stored up 48 cords of wood over the last several years, and as you can see, they have it well protected from the weather, so it's ready to use at any time. The wood is a great source. Typically it will cost time and effort if you can go cut it yourself. They're going to be using this wood for the cook stoves and the very large heaters that they have in the home. Here is one of their 2 fireplaces that heat their home. This is on the ground level, and the second one is upstairs. Because of the removable inserts, we'll be able to use wood, propane, and coal, which they have stored supplies of all. I don't think I can really capture the size of this cast iron parlor heater, but it is massive, and this is upstairs and will completely heat the entire upstairs with just wood. In addition to the wood, they have the electric Eden Pure space heaters in each of the rooms to keep the rooms warm during the winter and cold months. In addition to this, they also have the Alpaca open flame cooker and heater which they'll put in the kitchen to do the cooking on, and that's a kerosene heater, and that will heat up to 300 square feet while you're cooking and probably provide some light. Then in addition to that, they also have the dyna-glo room heater, which will heat up to 1,000 square feet. Again, this is another one of their 5 power backup sources for heating and cooking and light. So what do they use all this power for? The solar power that they have stored in the batteries, the propane, wood, and kerosene. Here's a full-size propane gas oven and stovetop. Here they have a rival cooktop. This is electric. As you can see, we had dinner on that. This is something that they're very excited about. This is a chlor water heater, and within about a minute and a half, they can have nice hot water for breakfast, hot chocolate and cooking. And this is a Cuisinart electric pressure cooker. And then back here, even though it looks old, it's brand new. This is a coal and wood burning stove. It has a heating rack up here in the top, the firebox down here, large oven inside, and a water jacket here. This is not just for decoration. As you can see, it's completely plumbed and used. So one thing that I'm concerned about with people is that they get things for prepping and they don't use them. But this family is using all these items, as you can see. So by having multiple sources of power, you can really keep your lifestyle pretty much the same and not have to rely on simply one source of energy. If something happens, they have redundant backups. And that's being a truly prepared family. So don't put all your eggs in one basket, as they say. Think about multiple sources of power and how you might want to use those. One other thing that they have in here is that all the lights in the house are CFL, low wattage light bulbs. And they've told me several times how important it is to have light for emotional stability and to have a bright mood in the house. This is LDS Prepper reminding you, if ye are prepared, ye shall not fear. And if ye have redundant power sources, if one goes out, the lights stay on and the house stays warm.